Hi guys, I've been trying to film this for a couple of days now, and one thing or another has always come up and interrupted it. So I'm down here. It is 6:45 in the morning and it is so quiet. I can hear a few cars, but there really isn't much, so I thought this was the perfect time to kind of come out and do it. I wanted to show you what's going on in my garden and in the greenhouse. I love being out here. I found it's been really relaxing in this really stressful time, and I know some people don't have the luxury of having a nice garden or greenhouse to be able to do these things, so I thought I would do a little bit of filming so people can hopefully relax with me. So this is my newly extended herb bed. This was actually, so this path originally kind of curved over, and this area was one slab less, and I kind of looked at it and thought, why don't we have a straight path? It was originally because we had a swimming pool here that took up all that space, and so you had to kind of walk around it, so the path was built around it, but obviously we don't have that now, so we decided to make it straight, and this has become a herb / salad bed. I'm trying to incorporate as many edible herbs and salads as possible for both us and the animals, because if you know me, you know I've got a lot of animals and a lot of them that eat a lot of salad, and herbs and vegetables and things, so growing my own over the summer really helps to cut down costs. So I've extended that, and there's at the moment it's still pretty bare. I'm trying to go with a kind of Alice Fowler, I call it an Alice Fowler style bed. The same with this one over here, which basically is, if you've watched some of her films and that, some of her series, there was one particularly about her starting to grow veg in her garden, and she was just popping the veg instead of like rows of it and everything. She was putting it in between her other plants and that, and it made for a really pretty but productive area, and so that's what I'm trying to get here. So in between these lettuces and all sorts of rocket and spinach and peas and things, I have actually sown, there's calendula and nasturtium seeds been sown there, which I'm hoping will come up and will look pretty in between. And calendulas and nasturtiums are both edible by the animals as well, and us, so they still kind of come in with the edible theme. Down there are loads and loads of little alpine strawberries. They literally just run right down there, and in here is some more lettuce leaves and salad leaves. So now I'm going to take you homemade compost from my lovely compost bin. I'll bring you, sorry, I'm going to be a bit jittery at the moment. It's actually quite cold out here this morning. Let's bring you in the greenhouse, which is a little bit warmer. So yesterday I tried putting you on a tripod so that you weren't so shaky, and it worked, but I still had to move you around so much to show you everything that was in here. So as you come in, you basically get attacked by a Tradescantia or a Wandering Jew. I got these in plant swaps literally only a couple of months ago, and they are like, they weren't that big, and they're huge now. I've got orchids, and this, I am so pleased with this. That is from Christmas, and I have never had any luck keeping them after Christmas, and so far it's doing really well. So I've got so many Tradescantias where they're getting long, so what I do is when they get long, and in a way, I take something like this and I just chop it off, and then I put it into little pots of water. I've got them right here. I'm currently trying to do a couple of peperomia for my next door neighbour, but they're more like this. I pop them in water like this. There's just water in there, and like within a couple of weeks they've rooted. So then I pop them in the pot and leave them to carry on growing, and yeah, so I've ended up with that's your normal variety, and then I've got some sort of yellow and gold varieties. That was a cutting that I did myself that was originally from that plant, I think. And look, it's now in its own, and this is like a couple of months. That's it. They are so vigorous. So if you want a hanging plant that looks good and is really easy, say you want to fill a couple of hanging baskets or something, they really are only for indoor use, or they can go outside in the summer, but they do need protection in the winter. So yeah, they're a really good one if you want something fast growing. All down this end, a coleus that I've grown from seed. I've got some absolutely stunning ones. This one over the back, I don't know if you're going to be able to see from here, its leaf is as big as my hand. This one is from the same batch of seeds, but it's got a pretty big leaf, not as big as that one, but I love the actual colour of that leaf. Then you've got the ones from the Black Dragon seeds. It really doesn't show very well on camera, but some of them have got really, really pink bits in them. And then there's some of them have bushed, like this one, have bushed out really, really easily, and then others, mainly the ones from the Bloomy Eye Everest mix, haven't. And you really have to push them and pinch them back to get them to sort of bush out like that. I've had to be so this one I pinched out at its first set of proper leaves, and you've got all that. This one I pinched out below the first set of leaves, right near the bottom. It's got maybe an inch of this one, no, it is above the first set of leaves, but not the true leaves. Like, I don't know, it is. This one definitely isn't as tall though, so I don't know. Some of them just done better than others, but as you can see, the Bloomy Eye mix has gone very tall before they've sort of started bushing. So they're okay. Might just be the kind that they are, but I prefer them where they bush out a bit lower down. But I do like this one. I've really like this one, so that's kind of a keeper. So yeah, I'm just kind of playing around with those. I've not grown them before. I'm just playing around with them. There's some of my coniferous plants. I've got more bits and pieces in hanging baskets. That one is a different kind of Tradescantia. I hope I'm saying that right. I always just that's an orchid, and then more coniferous plants. It's a spider plant, oxalis, which is really pretty. I really love that. That's like my pride and joy orchid. I love that one. Loads of stuff. This is what my son calls it his. It's a watermelon peperomia because it looks like watermelon. And he has an actual watermelon plant as well. This was a Mother's Day present from Henry. And then I've got all my herbs and things that can't go out. So basil. I've got pepper plant with actual peppers on. Lots of cucumber plants because I have a lot of need for cucumbers, and that is Henry's watermelon plant that he's grown. So, and then over here more herb plants and tomato plants and bits and pieces, and my leftover cacti and succulents. So there it is, there's a greenhouse. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of it and the outside area where we've been working recently. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and just let me know what you'd like to see. Thanks.